educational time. Hello, I'm RachelJoyify, and it is finals week next week. Technically, it shouldn't be that bad because this week I already had an end of the year exam and end of the year quiz, and I only have 2 finals next week, but finals. I don't exactly know what this video is going to be about. Mainly, it's just to help me prepare for finals, to be in the mindset I hit my lights, ready for finals, ready to absorb the information. And if you get some information out of this video, you probably won't. Do's and don'ts while studying for finals. Do study. Yes, this is obvious, but you should do it. Don't just assume you know the information. Probably actually study the information. Don't start watching a new series, or don't start watching a series you've already watched, like Orphan Black. And if you decide not to study, which I would thoroughly advise you otherwise, but you should at least look through all of your notes and your information at least once. While you're studying, don't listen to music with words because it's very distracting. But do listen to music that doesn't have words, like piano music or soft guitar music or techno music or whatever you want to listen to. Don't stay up all night studying. Don't do it. There's some science-y facts out there to prove this, but just don't do it. You remember better if you've actually slept the night before. Take breaks because your brain cannot handle having all semester's information just crammed into it at once. Don't download any addicting games on your phone. Just don't do it. You should know how you study the best, and you should study in that way. Don't feel forced to be in a study group if that's not how you learn. I don't learn in study groups. I don't join study groups. Do have de-stressors in your room like Play-Doh or coloring books to help get the fun back into your life. Do eat healthy while you're studying? I don't know. You should probably eat healthy while you're studying. Don't eat that much junk food. I don't know. And that has been Common Sense Advice with Rachel. So I've had 4 classes where I've had kind of end of the year tests in them, and so I just kind of want to go through some of the information with you so that I understand it better and I can vocalize it, and maybe you can learn something about the subjects I'm going to be talking about. Okay, let's start with Intro to Statistics. If you're going to be taking an Intro to Stats final, know how to find the z-score. If you know this equation, everything will be good. When in doubt, change it to a z-score. Also know the z-chart, and when in doubt, use the z-chart. Why does there have to be a different standard error for proportion and mean? Why can't they just have the same one? I know why they can't have the same one. It's because they do different functions, but it makes it so much harder to remember. The third when in doubt strategy is just to make this. It'll probably help. Statistics are confusing and misleading. Be sure not to assume anything when working with it. Now we're gonna move on to Mass Communication and Society. This is the class where I only have a quiz over it, and it's just over 1 section. Recorded sights and sounds. If something is written down, like in a book, that promotes solidarity, it's unpassionate, and it's a point in time. Whereas dynamic data, like audio and visual experiences, promote solidarity also, but they are passionate and they magnify your emotions while you're watching it, and it spans time more than a written word. Yes. And then the rest of mass communication is just common sense. The next class is oral communications, or that class that everyone is required to take, and apparently communication apprehension and stage fright refer to the same thing. I'm not bitter that I got that question wrong on our midterm, but maybe a little bitter. Maybe. Connotation and denotation. Is that how you say it? Detonation? No, it's not detonation. Connotation and denotation. Is that the word? Denotation and connotation. Know the difference between that. Denotation is the literal meaning behind the words, whereas connotation is kind of the maybe alternative meaning to a phrase or word or something. Also, does it bother you that denotation, or how do you say that? It has 1 N, but connotation has 2? That's weird. Know the 4 different types of speech delivery, like extemporaneous, manuscript, memorize, and impromptu. 4. Ethos, pathos, logos. Know it. Ethos is ethics, logos is logic, and pathos is emotions. Or pathos. And then it's just sad that pathos, the definition or the meaning of that, doesn't start with a P. And then the rest of everything you could be tested over in an oral communication class is common sense. And the last class I'm going to be talking about is human growth and development. If there's a question over people and one of the options is Freud, 9 times out of 10 it's not Freud. Everyone knows Freud, but usually the answer is not Freud. Unless the question has something to do with ego or superego or ID or anything about subconscious behavior. When that happens, that's Sigmund Freud. As for the other developmentalists that you should know, Watson, what he's mainly known for is classical conditioning. You will know Erikson because he has stages and he mainly focuses on social influence on people. Piaget. If you see something that's really based around kids and how they think rather than what they think, it's gonna be this guy, whose name I can't say for some reason. Vygotsky believed that knowledge came from social interactions, like between a parent and a child. And you will know Fisher because it's tiers. It's not stages, it's tiers. And then the rest is common sense. So this has been a fun time. I've got to go over some material, teach you some little tips and tricks for all these classes. Honestly, I have my stats final next week and I am not looking forward to it. But it's gonna go great. It's gonna go great because I have all these study tips that I am going to follow and I'm going to do, and it's gonna be wonderful. So I hope that you like this video. If you're going through finals, we can do it. We can do it. And I hope that you have a great day. Look. I bought plants from a plant sale. Hello, little plants. 3 of the 4 classes. You could probably get through the final by common sense. But then math comes, and it's like, what common sense can you apply to this?